Boa noite, pessoal. Boa noite, bom dia, boa tarde a todo mundo que vai nos assistir depois nesse vídeo no IGTV e no canal do YouTube Pedro Permuy. Não vou me prolongar muito no português hoje, porque essa será a primeira live internacional que eu farei tanto aqui no Instagram, quanto será depois disponibilizada no YouTube, com um supermodelo suíço que faz o maior sucesso lá nos Estados Unidos, já mora nos Estados Unidos há muito tempo, mora em New York. E eu vou pedir a todos os seguidores que falam inglês que fiquem, e os que não, depois assistam no YouTube com legendas, que vão estar disponíveis. E quero a interação de todo mundo para a gente poder tirar o maior proveito do bate-papo. Acabei de falar com ele, que está uma horinha a menos que a gente, que eu ia entrar agora. Então estou só esperando ele aparecer aqui para a gente começar a conversar. Ele, inclusive, vai ser tema da coluna da próxima segunda-feira, que é quando a coluna faz um perfil maior, porque ele está com um projeto, quer dizer, ele já fez parte de um projeto que ele tem lá em Nova York com uma capixaba, que é a Sheila Hershey, que já mora lá também há muito tempo, muitos anos, de quem ele é amigo. Então ele entrou aqui. Só esperando ele conectar. Uma horinha menos da gente só que ele tá. Super atencioso. Depois vocês vão lá no perfil dele para dar uma olhadinha.
There you are. Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear you too.
Can.
How are you, Rudy?
Perfect. Okay, now I have the audio.
Right. Listen good?
Perfect. It can't be any better. How are you?
Very fine, and you?
Okay, we're talking to Pedro from Brazil, and he is working. How about you give a little bit explanation about yourself and the publication you work with, and a little bit of background, and then from there we're gonna take it forward in your lead.
I was talking to the followers that speak Portuguese that you are very supermodel, and that we are going to talk right now about your career and your life in the United States. And my name is Peter. I work with celebrity journalism since 2015. And about 2 years ago, I started to make a column, a special report, a special publication in Vitória, here where do I live, in Brazil, about special interviews with special people like Rudy. And the report with Rudy will be available next Monday. And now we are going to make this live to talk about what we spoke in the interview, and about the life, the career, and what he doing in New York, and the plans that he have for the model stuff and everything. Everything okay there, Rudy? I think that Rudy is having a kind of problem with the internet, the connection, maybe. Let's wait. Everything okay?
Great. I have bad connection. I'm trying to get the Wi-Fi.
But it's everything okay.
I was getting disconnected and connected back, so I think now it is good. I just turned on my Wi-Fi. Let me see.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect. Okay, it's
Perfect.
a pleasure. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure is mine. And I would like to start to asking you about your past. When you were a box star and when you turned to a model star. You told me that you worked with sports since you were younger, and when you started to work with modeling, you were in a delicate time for sports. I can call like that.
Right. So I was pursuing boxing as my main career, and that was what I always focusing on. And that was actually all of my dream, to focus on the modeling, and everything else was was to the side for me actually. And so my whole goal was Olympic London. And in one of the qualifying matches, I got injured on my right shoulder, which I had to say goodbye to my career as a boxer, as a fighter. And so ever since that time, I had to become like laser focused on my career as a model. And then that's how it started. And I focused on the modeling. And now I'm here with you in New York and the city, you know, to trying to make the American dream work.
You were living in New York since it has been like 7 years, you told me, right?
Yes. Yes.
You were from Switzerland.
Yes.
And never thought about going back there?
Right. So I actually, before New York, I was in Dubai, but I've considered, you know, traveling, but to me, always the ultimate location to live is New York.
The city that never sleeps.
Yes, that's my ultimate goal, to live at least as long as I'm working, because as a model, the place that you should work in, I think, is New York. For anybody who works in the fashion industry, that's the industry, and that's where you can get network and work with professionals in the fashion industry. So that's what the plan is, to, as long as I've been working in fashion industry, or even that I stay in New York. But you never know. I'm always open to new opportunities. You never know what is future gonna bring you.
And you were a success in the whole world. You have fans all around the world, and you started in the modeling career. Particularly, there are people that are longer in this career and don't have the success that you have. And how do you think that it started? How do you think that you made such success in this time?
Well, you know, in like every other job, modeling has few elements that, in order for you to grow in this element, it really requires you to start your focus in whatever it takes. So the first part for every business, I believe, that is to study the business that you want to start. And I think if you really have the passion for it, you would find ways to reach your goal. So I started studying fashion industry and the ways that it was. Actually, at the beginning, there was some parts that I was trying to focus on my career as a model, as I was told. So I was talking to agents, like different agent were telling you different things. I remember there was a part that I was 42L, and they were asking me to drop size to 40. And so I stopped going to the gym and I stopped working out. And all I was doing was cardio, because I needed to trim down, to tune down, to be able to fit in high fashion size, 40. And then I went for a casting, and it was for Nike. I went and I flew to the West Coast, and I went for the casting. And when I show up, the casting director told me, like, we met you, you know, a few months ago, and your portfolio and everything, like, you have had such a change. And I said, yes, I did. And they said, like, are you okay? You know, like, and I said, listen, like, I try to become a different person, so that's why I'm doing this. And they said, so the casting director sat down with me, and I said, you don't need to book all the jobs. What you need to do is to be you, and representing yourself is truly the key to the success, in my understanding and in my belief. So I think representing yourself and is the master key. So as long as you are confident with who you are and how you represent yourself, the other things can open up always for you.
And as a person that works with the fashion industry for a long time,
Right.
Do you think that from then to now, the requires of the great brands or the most famous stylists are different or they are the same? It changed something.
Fashion industry is a very fast-paced industry. It continuously change, and in order for you to be able to catch up is very hard, because like, you go to this agent or a casting director, they said, okay, like, I want this a specific look, and then as soon as you catch up with that, you see it is starting to change, and in my understanding, you don't need to please everyone. You don't really need to book all the jobs. So
Yes.
what you need to do is to be able to represent yourself and just match the job inquiries with your own skills and with your characteristics. And that way, I think, is the best way to be able to actually represent your best self as it is. And I think that would be helpful in your confidence and also in your success as a model.
And people cannot decline about their dreams, right? You told me that in the interview.
Yes. If you have a passion, if you have any dream and you realistically study it and you see it matches, I think you have to follow it, because down the road, sure, if I was continuing probably my engineering field, I might have been more successful financially. But if you look back into the, into life, you're never going to regret, oh, why I was not richer. In my understanding, you would say, that was always my passion to do, and I never went after it. I was wondering, what would it happen if I was always, instead of becoming an engineer, I was just pursuing my modeling, and yeah, I think it would, like, now I went to the boxing career and I continued it as long as I could until my right shoulder got injured. And so down the road, I have no regret. I said, I put whatever it took this path, and I did it with all my passion, and I put everything inside me into the sport that I loved. But I couldn't win the gold medal in London Olympic Games. That was always my dream, but at least I don't regret it. I always say that I did whatever it took, and it leaves no regret. And I believe that you have to live your life not for anybody else, but for what you truly believe in. And it can be different for different people, but everyone has a passion and a dream and something that they believe in. And I think if they pursue it, that would be the best way to make their life as a part to make them happy.
And everything happens for a reason, right? I believe in
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
And in the interview, what?
Absolutely. I do believe the same. Yes.
Yes. And
Actually,
in the interview, oh,
Tyson Fury, he actually has a fight, the Gypsy King, on 24th of July in Vegas, and he's a great example of someone who had a depression, and he took over, and he became the world champion. He is still the disputed heavyweight champion of the world as of today, and he's a great example of someone who believed in a dream and pursue it until the end. And I think that, well, I've always was coming across when I used to box, they would say, what if you get hurt? What if? And I would say, what if I don't do it? And I always think, what if I have done it? At least I did what I loved, even if I died. Like, I was so okay that in the final game of London Olympic game, if I get knocked out and I pass away, I would say that at least I did what I loved. I did.
but I think that you, with the story that you tell, the story that you tell people, that you tell everyone, you're an inspiration too. I think that many people could be inspired by your history of getting the dream and going through it. and try to got another thing to do in the market?
I tried to live my life the way that I leave no regret when I look back into it, and how successful I become in that is, success is very relative word, so you can't say,
Yes.
but at least I try to leave the least possible doubt for myself when I look back.
And you got success.
Thank you. that's that's relative. Different people have different aspects of thinking. Everyone thought. Thank you.
In the interview, we spoke about kind of reality that you were invited to participate in Brazil. And do you still have plans to come and get
Well,
in?
I'm planning to actually come to Brazil. It's been my passion to live. To some extent, I was thinking to live, but at least to visit Brazil is, it's a very beautiful country, and whenever I see the images and the carnival and everything, I say, this is the country I have to visit. Like, it's like a
Yes.
goal to at least visit. And I have a lot of friends from Brazil that they always tell me about it. And I told you my friend had an invitation, invited me to go to Brazil. So it would be a dream come true.
But I think that for a person like you that lives in the United States and are used to the American way of life, Brazil it's not the perfect place to live. It's better for get some vacation.
Well, you don't need to have everything to be said as as you want. All you
Yes.
need to do is just to adapt to the new situation. And I think Brazil has its own unique ways, its own unique nature, and its own unique uh, characteristics that I think I'm gonna be in love with by visiting it.
And speaking of Brazil, many of people who I spoke about you and I told that you will be the your interview, sorry, will be published next Monday. Um, they were like a surprise of a capixaba. That's a person who born in Espírito Santo, the state. Where do I live? Is your friend like Shayla, and
Right.
you both met in New York, right?
Actually, it's one of the best characteristics of social media. We met through social media online, and
Yes.
that's how we got connected.
And you
All through,
both
I'm thankful of.
and you both never thought about something together or have some plan.
Well, we have thought about, actually we've thought because she speaks Portuguese fluently, and we
Yes.
actually thought about uh, that I make my trip with her so that she can help me, because her Portuguese is perfect, and she still has family there, and I thought she will be a very great help for me to be able to to visit Portuguese with someone who is local. So I've had it on the plan, but she's busy with a lot of different plans, and let's see how future gonna brings us.
And
But I always have it into plan to come to Brazil. It would be great if her time availability let us, and I would be thankful to her. She's always has been very supportive. She's always been uh, amazing, and I consider her as a very close friend and someone that I can rely on, very trustworthy, and she has very unique elements and characteristics that I cherish as a friend.
yes,
Amazing.
she's a great woman,
Yeah.
a great Brazilian.
Yes.
And Rudy, speaking about Brazil and fashion industry around the world, um, we spoke a little bit about the fashion opportunities to men and to women when we spoke last week, and we saw some differences between the markets for one and to the another one. Did you still see this difference nowadays about the treatment that men's and women's receives from the fashion industry, or do you think that it's almost equal, or we are going to the equality?
Well, it depends which angle you're seeing it. If you're seeing the fashion industry from the financial part, yes, there is a significant difference between female models and male models, which they have a higher income because it's a higher market. They are having other elements like beauty products and makeup, which is a huge industry that we don't have. So it's understandable that they have a higher views, they have higher, but yes, so it's understandable. But overall, uh, I'm so happy that I've been working in this industry. I mean, uh, it, I've done more commercial side, and some high fashion, but either way, it is just a great timing that while you're working, it's a blessing, truly.
I believe. And talking about high fashion, do you have? I saw that you already made jobs for great brands like Dolce and Versace and Nike. There's a moment or a episode about your career or your life that you thought think about it and think, oh my God, that was the time of my life or my career. A special moment or a special episode or a special job.
Uh, you're asking about a special moment that I always remember
Yes.
while working. Yes, well, I love the shows because you can see the pure reaction and facial expression in people's eyes, and it's just a very great combination of humans, interactions with each other. So when you attend Fashion Week, when we are backstage, I see like sometimes I see the girls are, praying. I see excitement. I see designer who walk on a stage and they burst into tears and crying on a stage because it was a very glorious moment for them. So mix of all these different emotions, it has been amazing, I think. Yes, so
And
it like the whole from the backstage to while you walk on a stage and that ending moment, it has always been, the scenes that you always remember and you always cherish those moments. It's a living life, and we are blessed actually to be in it.
and do you still get nervous when you were going on a runway, for example, or it's natural
At
for
the
you
beginning,
nowadays?
I can't lie. At the beginning, I was because at the beginning I was still boxing, so sometimes I was, Rudy, you have bruises on. I told you, you have to be on set, and but after a little bit, the more we started to work, everything got much better. So over the time, everything started working out, and of course, I became more comfortable managing the stress, and it became a lot easier.
And I saw in your Instagram before we talked last week that you travel a lot and that you are a supermodel in many countries, in different countries, not only in the United States. And in my vision, it's incredible to work like this, traveling and being respected and working in many countries in different cultures and everything. That's the ideal way of work that you ever dreamed with, or do you still have some dream about career
Uh,
professionally talking?
well, being featured in different publications from different part of the world is amazing. You get to see, different cultures and people's perspective about models. and I was live with the Russian TV that was broadcasting live, and I was talking, and I had a simultaneous translator who was talking, and it is great because you can see different cultures, but it's bad because I go and read, like, I've been published in India a lot of times, Chinese, Indonesia, Turkey, Russia, and you're gonna be the Portuguese. But it become a little bit hard to understand what they're saying, but I always take the positive side, and I appreciate everybody's opinion, either if it is positive, they like me, or if they don't, I really truly respect it, and I leave it. Even when people write comments, I leave it as it is, to respect people's opinion about whatever they think of me.
I hope that my English is understandable.
Oh yeah, it is perfect. It's great. Oh yeah.
Thank you. And to finish, I would like you to talk just about how is the fashion industry in US with the pandemic situation. How is the pandemic situation, and how is the scenery of the fashion industry there in New York?
So we had a really big hit. As the COVID started, everything started shutting down. Everybody started getting panicked, but thank God to the COVID vaccine, I've seen the difference, truly. I've seen things are opening up. The indoor and outdoor dining is open up. You can see the traffic is going through Times Square as I walk. I don't live far away. So you see that, the life is coming back to the city, and you can see the traffic and all of the excitement that the city has. So city is getting the characteristic all over back again. So it's heartwarming. I'm so glad and grateful to be alive, and we all celebrate life together at this specific moment together.
And the jobs are turning on again, I think, right?
Yes,
or it never stopped.
They are coming back. Everything is coming back, and it's great. It actually is great. I'm very grateful about everything that is happening. I'm receiving more castings, and I think it's great. I'm grateful.
Right, perfect.
Yes.
Rudy, so
starting, and I think this year, after a rough year, the Fashion Week is gonna come back.
Yes. So Rudy, I would like to thank you for the attention. I would like to thank you for the live, and I wish you to have more success in your life, in your career, and I want you to come to Brazil so we can meet. It would be a pleasure.
It would be a pleasure. It would be, and I'm really looking forward to my visit to Brazil. So it's a beautiful country, and the food is. I sometimes go here to Portuguese restaurants, and it's amazing. And I really can't wait to see this beautiful country with amazing nature.
It will be a pleasure to receive you here.
It would be a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rudy. As your order.
We are looking forward to the article that is coming on Monday. Thank you, Pedro. And on your behalf, I'm thanking your team and everybody who is taking part in the publication. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So, see you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good night. Good night.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.